a big institution. Because, it's a common problem of the youth that a lot of people also underestimate us. कि तुम तो बहुत young हो, तुमसे क्या होगा, and a lot of things happen like that. So I just want a personal answer of this so that it would also inspire us to do something big at such a young age, and overcome the challenges that you also face in your life regarding this. So, yeah.
I think the challenges are quite endless if I keep talking about it. I don't think you finish. But with that being said, I think it's a very interesting space to be in because I just graduated, I've been a student, I've lived the life that you're living now. I really understand what a student feels when he or she walks into campus, what they want. And I'm happy to bring that young change and that point of view also to college. And it's so interesting to interact with someone who's like just 19 years old to someone in their late 50s, like faculty member or someone senior. I think having that broad spectrum of opinions that people you get to work with is something that I really enjoy. And obviously being around young energy, I think that's what keeps me motivated through all these challenges. I think obviously I've been a student, I've also complained a lot of times about my college, this is wrong, so that's something that's never going to stop. But obviously you can keep doing your bit in addressing student issues. So since I've joined, I've made it mandatory to have student surveys where we take student voices in, we understand what students actually want, know what problems they're facing. Student well-being is something that we take very important. We focus a lot on. We want to make sure that our students are always happy. Because if your students are not satisfied in the end, there's no point. And again, having been a student, one thing that I realized was there's no proper mentorship, that students receive from year one till the end. It's usually like in a semester or like in a second year or third year. So ensuring that the student is mentored from year one to the last year, I think that's super important. Challenges again, with people who are much older, senior than you, they obviously come with their school of thought. They have different way of thinking, but you can't just brush it off and say, you have to listen only to me, I know everything. That's not how it works. I think the sign of a true good leader is when you take everyone's opinions and perspectives and make a decision out of that. I can easily be walking around campus, just passing decisions, saying you have to do this, you have to do that. But I don't think it's the right way to go about things. You need to understand what everyone on the table wants. And I think that's another lesson that I've learned. Again, I'm very young. And I don't want to preach you or teach you something. I've said this a lot of times, and even I think SRK said this, that you should not say something without being successful yourself. But again, I'm talking out of what I've experienced in my time that I've spent at the college, is that you really need to understand everyone, where they're coming from, understand what students, what their challenges are. So I would say my challenges are what the students' challenges are, and essentially I want to bring a positive student experience because that was something that we didn't focus a lot on. Universities were mainly about giving education, there was not much mentorship in terms of like student well-being, student experiences. So challenges will keep coming and going, but I'm trying to address as many student challenges as I can, and whatever their challenges are, my challenges also. So that's all I would like to say.